Shaddah Da to all first-time listeners and OSOICE family. My name is Amonette, and I am speaking to you from the East Coast, Chesapeake, Virginia. Welcome to the top of today's show. Our topic will be on the science of breathing. I've been a host for about 30 seconds. Yes, this is my first hosting show, and it's such an honor and pleasure as well to do this.
Can you mute your phone?
So sit back, adjust your antennas, and listen and learn. Let me now introduce our guest speaker, Anthony, who is an amateur boxer and coach. Can we mute our phone, please? Thank you. He will share with us, the listener audience breathing techniques that he has mastered and applied along the way throughout his boxing career. These techniques will be greatly reflect the breath book that was written by Malachi Z. York many, many years ago. So, Anthony, welcome to the show, and I'm passing the mic to you.
Peace and love. Peace and love. I appreciate the introduction, sister.
You're quite welcome.
Thank you. First and foremost, I'd like to let everybody know I was an amateur boxer. I started boxing in 1999. I boxed on and off from the year 99 on up to 2007 when I had my last fight. But I've had plenty of experience at getting punched in the face, getting punched in the body, taking shots, knowing how to take them, and how to get away safely without, let's put it like this, minimal damage in a fight. The one thing that I learned in my experience as a boxer is fatigue is controlled by conditioning, heart rate, and breathing. You control your heart rate, of course, through your breathing. In order for you to breathe properly, you got to be thinking properly. A lot of times when we are in a fight, we're not breathing properly, and we're not even aware that we're not breathing until we're at a moment where we need oxygen. Now we need to retreat. Okay, so what I learned over the years, because I used to have a problem with stamina myself before I figured this out. And nobody was ever telling me what it was that was wearing me out in my fights. The main thing I realized was wearing me out in my fights was anxiety.
Yes.
Okay? It was anxiety. Once you get past the fact that you can be punched, right, you have to accept it. Just like you accept jumping in the water when you go to the swimming pool and the water's cold. You don't never you like to be the first one in the pool. Well, take notice of the person that jumps in the pool first, because that's usually the person that's going to throw the first punch in a fight, okay? That's a good way of knowing how risky some people are. That'll let you know what kind of risk they'll take also in a fight. You also have to have the same acknowledgement that it's only water. When you fight, you have to have the same acknowledgement that it's only a punch. You yourself have the same potential as a person you're fighting, as long as you know where to hit, how to breathe, how to move. As long as you got the knowledge, you won't have any problem surviving, escaping, or winning, however you look at competing. However, I like to let everybody know that the conditioning is stage one. Practicing breathing through conditioning is how you learn how to breathe. And I'm going to like to begin with how to breathe as you approach an opponent, and actually what to do with your body too. Because a lot of people don't understand, when you approach an opponent, you don't want to give your opponent a bunch of targets to hit. You only want to give him half of a target. So you have to stand at a slant or at a side stance. Does anybody on the phone know what I'm talking about? A side stance, martial arts? Any martial artists on the phone?
Yes, I took Kung Fu years ago, yes.
Okay, so you definitely know what I'm talking about then. All right.
Mm-hmm.
When your lead foot is out and you got your back foot, okay. Now this stance right here has built-in protection. The reason why I'm explaining this stance is so that you understand when you're in this stance not to panic, understand that there's no harm, or understand that there's no harm that's going to come to you that you can't see coming from that particular position, and you'll be protecting your vital organs, okay, which are usually, or not usually, most of the vitals is on the right side of the body. So anybody that's right-handed would step with their left foot out front. The right foot would be in the back, okay? You would have your knees slightly bent, not completely, because
right, don't lock them. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as your legs are slightly bent, right, and you have let's say a teeter-totter rhythm going, where you're on the heels or the balls of your feet, and once you feel this rhythm, this is the rhythm you're gonna push off of, okay? When you feel your weight on your back leg, on your back foot, that's when you're gonna push off of that foot to step forward, and in that instant, you're gonna be exhaling. So anytime you move forward, step by step, you want to let a breath go, okay, as you're approaching your opponent. And this depends on the speed you're approaching at. So if you're coming at your opponent fast, you're going to have to take a deep breath, and in the exhale, make as many movements as possible, okay? And that means stepping twice, 2 or 3 times to close the gap between you and your opponent. Throw 2 or 3 punches, but you have to you got to be able to throw these punches in the breath. Okay? And the punches, you'll hear boxers do it all the time. We'll inhale, then we'll go, and you'll hear 4 punches. And those 3 or 4 breaths were each punch. Okay? And it was all exhales after the inhale. That's how you would throw something fast. If you throw something with a rhythmic, like say for instance, it's rhythmic, but it's a little bit slower than that, you would breathe in and out per punch. So it would more. If I was throwing 3 punches, it would sound like this. Okay, in out, in out, in out. If I'm throwing 3 quick punches, I would breathe in and I would exhale. Okay. That right there allows me to keep the rhythm of my breathing so that I can keep a count of 4 seconds breathing in, 4 seconds breathing out, 4 seconds breathing in, 4 seconds breathing out, okay? And you have to learn how to stay on this rhythm of breathing while you expend energy. The best way to get to a skill level where you can do this is you have to do exercises that allow you the minimal amount of breathing time in between using the energy necessary to perform the act. And what I mean by that is if you're doing a burpee or a squat thrust or you squatting and jumping, because I recommend that exercise. It strengthens the legs, and it's easier for you to control the heart rate as well. So squat jumping. That's just going down, touching the floor, right? You want to inhale on your way down. And on the way up, you want to exhale, but you want to explode with your exhale. You don't want to exhale slow on your jump. You want to exhale hard and fast for a maximum amount of energy, okay? And what this does is it teaches you how to breathe when you want to punch hard. Okay? Now, in that, like say for instance, you're doing a burpee. A burpee has 3 breaths in it, not just one, like the jump, the squat jump. A burpee, you go down in the push-up position, right? You're gonna exhale on the way down, and then inhale. As soon as you hit the push-up position, you're gonna breathe out to bring your feet up under you. And then you're going to breathe in as soon as your feet get up under you, and then you're going to breathe out again as you stand up and jump. Okay? So it's one of them things where every time I do a move, I want to go per movement. I'm working my heart and my lungs like an engine, okay? In and out the nose, in and out the nose. And the minute I get tired, I'm going to be blowing fast out the mouth, okay? You'll notice in a fight, in the first 3 rounds of a fight, a boxing match is a fill-out round. These are the anxiety rounds where guys don't know what's getting ready to happen. You'll see guys with nervous energy at this moment. Okay? At this moment, if you see a dude breathing in and out of his mouth, he's going to get tired first. The guy that's breathing in and out of his nose only is the one that's going to have the reserved gas.
Yes, that's
so you
true.
have to make sure you slowly break into these reserves that you have. You don't start out breathing in and out of your mouth in a fight. You start out calm, breathing in your nose and out your nose. Even when you punch, you have to let it come through your nose. Okay? As you get fatigued, that's when you're going to open your mouth. As the body starts to heat up to a temperature hot enough, you're going to need to get oxygen into the body faster, so you're going to have to open your mouth and breathe in and out your mouth. This is in emergencies, okay? This is the overload part where you're going and you're trying to catch your breath. You're trying to get it back. At that moment, you get as far away from your opponent as possible. While you're stepping away from your opponent, you want to be inhaling. You want to inhale for the first 2 or 3 steps. You back up. You just want to inhale deep as possible. 2 or 3 steps. Walk. As your opponent's coming to you, you got to do this again. And the whole time you're breathing in, he's going to be coming. He or she, whoever you're fighting, they're going to be coming. So you're going to need to stay calm and know I got to breathe. Breathing is more important than worrying about getting punched by this motherfucker. Breathing is way more important. Because if you can't breathe, you can't think, you can't fight, you can't defend, you lose. So you definitely got to stay calm. Staying calm and knowing for a fact I can block, I can move, I can duck. So you don't panic. As long as you don't panic, you're going to have the upper hand in the long distance of the fight. I'm going to always put my money on the calmer guy with the better skills. Always. Not the guy that's just brute strength. I'm sorry?
Yeah, because if you are in an uproar, right, the body requires more oxygen. So you're depleting yourself because you can't replenish what you lost because now your heart needs more oxygen, the blood cells and all the body organs, they're starving for the oxygen. So, yes, that's true.
Exactly.
If you're out of air, it's like, really, you're no good. You're toast.
Yep. No air, you're going to give up. Every time you see a fighter in the ring lay on the mat, it doesn't mean he's out. It means he's quit mentally. He's done. It doesn't mean your favorite fighter got defeated. It means he didn't want to continue. That's what it's all about. Anytime you watch a fight and you see a guy get his ass whooped in the first round, it's because that guy came into that fight mentally disturbed that night. How you train for 90 days and you get in there and you let a dude blow you out the water in 3 minutes or less? How you do that? Something in your will has to give up.
Could it be fear?
So it's fear. Fear will gas you out faster than anything. Fear. Fear will make you tired. It will exhaust you before you even get to a fight. Just thinking about a fight, hearing about a dude punches super hard will make you exhausted. You have to know who you are going into a fight. And you got to understand, everybody in martial arts knows the shoulders, elbows, the knuckles on the hand, the heel, the knee, the hip, every knuckle of the body, the forehead, every knuckle of the body can be used to block, protect, and strike. Every knuckle. That's why you always see Floyd Mayweather use the shoulder roll, because his shoulder's a knuckle. He does not mind you hitting his shoulder so he can hit you in the face. How he does it is he raises his left shoulder, right, and he'll tuck his chin and make sure his chin is behind his shoulder, and then he'll make sure he looks over his shoulder with his eyes, not giving you his jawline or his chin at all, not giving you no access to it. It makes it extremely difficult to try to punch a guy that can defend himself that well, making himself small. So I encourage anybody, when you're blocking, squeeze yourself, hug yourself when you block, love yourself when you block. Because when you do, the opponent is throwing the punches at you, as long as you are moving your upper body and you're moving your feet, he's not going to land anything that's going to be damaging enough to hurt you. So you got to hug yourself when you're blocking. You see guys, they come in, they call it high guard, where they put their guard in front of them and they walk their opponents down with their head down, the chin's down, the shoulders up. That's the high guard. That right there is making yourself small and tight. When you do that, a person can throw a punch. When they throw a punch, you brace yourself for impact, and you will go with the flow of the punch by shifting your weight from your lead leg to your back leg, which most likely, if you're a conventional fighter, would be your right leg. So you're going to have to, a person throw a punch, you're going to exhale, and you're going to lean away. Lean away where? To your right side of your body. You're not going to bow forward just yet. The only time you will bow forward is if another punch is coming. The first initial punch, you're going to lean back, not backwards, but to the right side of your body. That is going to be back away from your opponent because of the side slant stance that you're standing in. If you're standing at a slant angle, when you lean to your right side, you're going to be able to avoid punches, no problem. You'll be able to see things coming that you weren't able to spot before. Knowing stuff like this is what keeps a fighter calm enough to not get tired from anxiety. You got to know this stuff. If you don't know this stuff, you're going to be fighting somebody that do, and then you're going to find yourself in a predicament where you're going, man, I can't hit this guy. I don't know why I can't hit him, but I can't hit him. He's right there. And it's because he's dancing with you. All he's doing is moving when you move, but he just knows what to do, what movements to make. That's where your knowledge comes in at. So if you don't have any knowledge and any conditioning, you're not going to be able to breathe in a fight no way. I encourage everybody, if you want to be able to breathe in a fight, you have to learn how to breathe or how to think under extreme fatigue conditions. So you have to put yourself in conditions where you are wore out, and then you have to learn how to coast, okay? One of my favorite drills that I do is I'll jog, and in the middle of jogging, I'll sprint for 10 seconds. And then I'll jog for 30 seconds, I'll sprint for 10 seconds. Jog for 30 seconds and sprint for 10 seconds. While you're jogging, this is when you raise your arms up above your head, open your wind bags up, and you breathe deep. Breathe real deep into your lungs, through your nose. People that have sinus problems, this is going to burn, okay? But still do it anyway. Just tell yourself, this is for my lungs. You need the oxygen, okay? That's one way of getting your endurance up. That, the squat jumps, the burpees, a couple of tools that I got that I use after I run. Immediately after I run, I grab my jump rope, and I jump rope for 3 minutes. All while I'm exhausted, gassed, tired, sweating profusely. I'm still going because I have to build up the mental conditioning along with the physical conditioning so that I can be mentally ready when somebody approaches me.
So question.
If you're not, go ahead.
Excuse me. Yeah, so as a female, how could I incorporate that, as far as, because we need to protect our children and others as well, but how would we do that on a female level, without trying to pull the rope and, juggle, bowling balls? What can we do to build our stamina up, per se?
To get your stamina up from a very beginning level? Okay.
Yes.
A very beginning level. And I don't want you to laugh when I tell you this. Please do not laugh.
I try not to. I hold it back.
I want you to stand up in place in the middle of an open area, right? And then you want to sit down on the floor like you're sitting down on your hands. You lay all the way back, right? You kick your legs up in the air, and then when your legs come down to the floor, you bring your upper body up like you're doing a sit-up, a momentum sit-up. All right?
Okay,
and
like
then
a V-shape like?
Almost, like that, yeah. And then as your legs come down, your upper body will come up, and then you're going to come to your feet on both of your hands from that position, right? And then you stand up, right? That's called, what they call it, a Drea roll. This will help your abdominals and your legs, okay, all while your lungs being worked. It's easy. It's just falling down backwards and getting up. That's all it is. But if you do it repetitively, you should be sweating by the 10th one you do. You should start sweating.
I'm sure.
Okay? Yeah, just falling down and getting up is a simple start. If you don't want to fall down and get up, I suggest sitting down and standing up. Okay, and try to do it.
Okay, that's a start.
At a rapid pace.
For some folks. Okay. Now you may
try
lose
to
your
do
balance.
That at a rapid pace.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And that's for leg strength, correct?
Standing up. That's for leg strength, and it's going to be for core strength too. You'll see. You do this stuff for long periods of time, repetitiously, your legs are going to build up, your lungs are going to build up, and it's going to become easy to use the energy that you need to use. That's what conditioning is all about. Making it easier, making the hard job easy as possible.
Okay.
Yeah. And another let me see, another one. I don't know. Women used to like double dutching back in the days. I don't know how you feel about jump rope. How you feel about jump rope?
Jump rope, I think, is great. Any females on the line that could agree with me, or their favorite jumping sport was, or any kind of sport? Okay, yeah, me. Yeah, so the hula hoop, the hula hoop, I think was a ball, like 3 or 4 hula hoops, and you start from your ankles up and all. This works on the entire body. There's stamina also, you got to have controlled breathing with that. Double dutch, I never knew how to do it, but it looks like it was really, a nice, just relaxing, just a not strenuous, working all the body. And the biggest thing is the heart rate, getting your oxygen going and nourishing those organs, So, and like you said earlier, it's about breathing through the nose because that warms the air, before it reaches your delicate organs in your body. So it's very imperative. Right. I know I read in the breath book where, we should every morning cleanse our nostrils with water, like we did back in the day, and that keeps your nasal passage, nice and clean, the hairs, because your hairs are what they're filters. So all that plays to the science of breathing. So what you're saying about the techniques of boxing, I could probably parallel those techniques as breathing in this book, that I've had for years and years and years. Okay,
they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand for sure. Another technique too for something you might. The reason why I mentioned double dutch. Let me say this real quick. The reason why I mentioned double dutch, and you might laugh, but when I was a child, there was not one girl that I knew that double dutch that didn't have infinite stamina. I mean, googly mooglies. There was nobody. I've tried to jump that fast. I can't do it. I don't have that kind of timing with my feet. I can jump pretty fast by myself, but not with 2 other people swinging. That takes timing and coordination.
I know.
I mean, it's just so much to that. You know what I mean? So I'm saying any girl that can double dutch can do boxing, no problem. Any girl that can jump rope can do boxing, no problem. Anybody that has no problem expending a large amount of oxygen and still using their muscles will have no problem ever in a fight unless they can't control their mind.
Okay, so you're saying I ran track so I can be a boxer? I ran the mile relay in the 440, and I breathed in my nose the whole time, because I got oxygen better that way. I tried both ways, but, that was the most natural way, and it was very effective. And it's about stamina. You finish, you're breathing, but, you're not like, about to pass out breathing. You still can walk away, and take a little walk and then sit down. So, awesome. Okay.
All right. And but I'm sorry, when you said that my supervisor came to the window, I'm on the plantation, y'all. Forgive me. But anyway, I got you're right about that. You're right about that. I'm just like if you ran track, you know what it is. You know what I'm talking about. The type of energy that you got to expel, because running if you have to run, like say for instance, football players know too. They know how much energy you expel when you sprint up the field trying to chase somebody that got away from the line, they run and score a touchdown. By the time you chasing that person down, you are exhausted. And you gotta make sure you do what? Stand up straight, breathe deep. You gotta get it back. The only difference between that and boxing, right, and with the mouthpiece in your mouth. Don't forget that. That makes breathing 10 times harder for you. So what I recommend, if you're gonna wear a mouthpiece, which I highly recommend, so you can get your teeth knocked out and you don't cut your lips, biting your lips and stuff like that, you're gonna have to bite down on the mouthpiece and breathe through your teeth. You never want to open your mouth. Not in a fight. Not in a fight. And anytime you're about to take contact and anytime you're about to give contact, you want to be biting down as hard as you can. You want your fist to also be clenched as tight as it can be clenched.
So no slapping.
Right.
I know
you got to.
Good joke, bad joke. No joke. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel so wrapped up right now. It's amazing.
You know, I know some female boxers you might know of. They real. I mean, they cold too. I'm talking about the best. Right now, her name is Clarissa Shields. You ever heard of Clarissa Shields from out of Michigan, Grand Rapids?
Never.
Excuse me. Clarissa Shields is not only is she the first, but she was one of the only women, right, to win 2 Olympic gold medals. Boxing.
Let me ask you this. I'm curious. I'm really curious about this. So, don't you guys get headaches from blow to the head?
Yes, you get headaches from trauma. You definitely get headaches from trauma. Not just random, dog. I don't want you to think that I get random headaches. I don't. I'm talking about in the fight. While I'm in the fight, your head will be hurting. Somebody will be hitting you upside your head. You gotta take that damage. You gotta physically know this ain't gonna kill me. You gotta know it. If you don't know it, you're gonna lose. Trust me on that. Any sign of doubt in yourself is over with. That's why I said you gotta know who you are. Yeah, you gotta know who you are. At the end of the day, if you don't know what you're capable, and that's what conditioning will tell you. Conditioning will let you know who you are. Because it'll let you know up front how much stamina you got, how much power you got, how much endurance you got, how durable are you. It'll let you know all of that in training. That's what your coach is supposed to do for you. Tell you what your limits are. If you can't reach your own limits, because a lot of people have a problem doing that. They have a problem pushing themselves to the limit. They don't like the feeling. It feels like dying. They don't like it. But I'm telling you, you get used to that feeling. All athletes get used to that feeling. That's what makes them champions. Only the champions are the ones that are diligent enough to never give up on themselves. They're the ones that say, I'm going to do this if it kills me. Some people ain't going to do that. They're not going to go in there and go, I don't care if I die in this situation. There's a lot of dudes that will. And I doubt it if you can be the man that's ready to die. You got to be on the same level. If you're not, he going to kill you. I hate to say it like that. You know, I put my money on a guy that stabbed 15 people this week versus a guy that ain't never stabbed a person in his life. Because the guy that stabbed 15 people got 15 bodies of experience at doing it, and he don't mind seeing blood. He don't mind hearing screaming. He don't mind none of that. But you do. So when you cut him and you hear him go, you're going to back up. You have sympathy. But when he come back, he not going to have it because he's got experience at not having it. In boxing, same mentality. A person that's punching at me is not going to scare me. Why? Because I've seen thousands of punches. It ain't but so many he can throw. There's a left jab, a straight right, there's a left hook, there's a right hook, there's a left uppercut, there's a right uppercut, there's an overhand right. And an overhand left depending on what stance you standing from. Knowing that, I'm going, what are you going to do that I ain't seen? You see? Now you got to do something like Mike Tyson. Now you got to bite my ear. That's the only way you're going to make me panic. I feel like I'm fighting a zombie at that moment. Because I'm not trying to bite nobody's ear off. I don't like to taste the blood. You know? But mentally, though, I know myself. You know? And no, I'm not afraid to run.
Me either. And to know thyself can be very, very hard. You know, it takes a minute. Yeah, it is. You know, you're like, wow. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's scary.
Sometimes it takes a lifetime for some folks.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. And some people just don't never. You know, they never get the opportunity. They get taken out of here before they can. But I encourage you. I got 2 boys. You know, I'm constantly encouraging them. Once you put yourself through adversity, you're going to learn who you are.
That's true,
You're going to learn, you know, and other people will. You're going to not only learn you're going to learn who you facing. Because I faced a quick story. Middle school, I had an altercation with a bully. Okay? I was scared of this dude. Scared of him. And the only reason why I was scared of him is because he had the audacity to want to fight me for nothing. I was like, well, what kind of entity is this? The one to hurt me, and I don't even know this kid. I used to have them, you know, the Malcolm X glasses. Everybody know the ones Malcolm X had? Yeah, I used to have those. Yeah. And I was a big fan of the movie X when that movie came out, so I got the glasses to actually pay homage to Malcolm X. I didn't know that ignorant-ass niggas in school was going to be talking shit about me, calling me this, calling me. I'm like, man, I thought Malcolm X. Very short, this dude called me out, and I said, you know, forget it. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to fight this dude. And I kept telling myself that all day long, but I was scared. You talking about, I had the shit 3 times. I know the feeling. Okay?
I know the feeling.
but on the way out at the end of the school day, as I was approaching the end of the hall, and I seen a crowd of people standing out waiting on it, I said, you know how you do, F it. You know, I go into it. Kids, we bumping shoulders. We spinning around in a circle, rubbing shoulders. You put your hands on me. You touch me. You touch me. We doing all that crap.
Yeah.
You know, I said, F it, and grabbed my book bag, sis, and I hit him upside the head with my book bag. And when I knocked him down, he wasn't getting up, and I was scared that I thought I killed him. I said to myself, There's no way. Fighting is not for everybody. You know what I mean? Fighting is not for everybody. So I knew then, I was like, man, if I'm capable of something like that, then that scares me more than anything. I don't want to hurt people. Right. That was one of the reasons why I actually stopped boxing. I stopped boxing for the sheer fact that I couldn't stand to see somebody hurt for free. Like, it was on some shit like, I'm boxing this dude, we both ain't getting paid, now we are trying to hurt each other. Let's just do it for the skills of it and the exhibition of it. And, you know, but nah, when you got a dude trying to take your head off, you feel the need to try to take his off too.
Right.
You feel the need to do so, you know, and I had to quit. You know, I've been knocked down before about 2 or 3 times, and I have 2 knockouts on my record, just 2, and 2 distance fights. So of course they're amateurs. I had 2 distance fights. Then I had a fight that ended up being stopped. It was like a no contest fight. So I only got about 5 fights that I actually successfully went through, and then I was, you know, all the rest of the time was training. Because like I was trying to tell y'all, for years I was trying to figure out what the hell was making me tired.
The breathing.
Anxiety was doing
it. Anxiety, okay.
Yes, anxiety was doing it because if you can't control your mind, you can't control your heart either.
Hey, think about
it.
We have anxiety
in panic mode. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You know, I'm sorry. It's like I know when anxiety kicks in, your heart rate. I mean, everything's out of whack. You know, and you're breathing fast. You're like, you know, you're in a panic. It's that is so true. Yeah, I still, that is so true.
So the first thing I recommend, right back.
Hey, this is Maurice from Virginia. Go ahead.
How you doing, brother? How you doing?
No, I'm doing well. How about yourself, man? Yeah. I've been on the line just listening, absorbing everything. Yeah. Go ahead. The first thing you recommend, what were you gonna say?
I kind of had a brain fart, man.
My fault. Sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. All right. But I had a question for the Empress.
Yeah, go ahead,
Did
brother.
you say you were from? I got a question for the Empress. Did you say that you're from Chesapeake, Virginia?
Yes.
Okay, I'm in Chesapeake, Virginia too. And then you mentioned Kung Fu. Yeah. I'm out in the Hickory area, so that's awesome to hear a voice from home. But then you mentioned Kung Fu also, that you train in Kung Fu.
Master T.
Yeah, Master T. I done tried to train under Master T too. When you said slap somebody, I knew you was talking about Master T. Yeah, so you train under Master T too. He is Grandmaster T now.
Yeah, I was on a chicken class. Were you
That's
there?
a female art. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. I trained with him for about 6 months working at the shipyard. One of the most deadly is a female art. When you said slap, I said I gotta ask that question. She talking about Master T, the open hand. And your name was.
It was a joke, but yeah.
I got to explain.
Explain what?
Oh, you.
Like that just went way left just now, but I just went to the slap. I mean, what's going on? What's that about?
No, what you said.
Okay,
talking about martial arts, brother. Go ahead. I'm sorry, y'all.
With the slap? Well, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, really, I was saying when the brother kept saying, punch with a closed fist, right? I had a little sour joke. I see me not a slap. It was a joke, but it went bad. Like, slap somebody, see no one laugh. That's what I'm saying. So just forget I said it. Don't pay me no mind. Go ahead.
No, I saw the first time I ever trained with Master T. I went out with a guy, and it was our first day, and he said, throw a punch at me. He blocked it, pop, open hand, and pow, smacked the mess out of him. That was this guy's last day. What a smack does is that, for one, you don't damage. This is in that, when you're real combat in the streets, you don't damage your hand with a punch, especially if you're going to the head, where you can break your knuckles. You see a lot of people when they get into a fight. And what I'm going into is the art that he taught was Tai Chi Chun, the mind fist. Is you use the closed fist when you go to soft parts of the body, because when you're in a boxing ring, you have, protection on your hand and whatnot to keep from damaging, when people get into street fights, they're always breaking their fists because, for one, they never train. I'm quite sure, Anthony, that you too, when you throw your hands out in a real street fight, that, by you being trained, that you aren't going to break your fist.
Yeah.
But you always do.
I'm going to elaborate more on that when you get finished, bro. Go ahead.
But his was an open hand art form, with a lot of scratching. It was actually effeminate. He really transformed my mind when it came to combat. I had pretty much trained in linear sports or linear martial arts like karate, which was straight. But he introduced the concept of circular breathing, like what you were talking about. And using the concept of the circle when it came to generating energy to defend yourself. And it was so powerful, like when you would block a strike coming at you with an open hand, it was a concept of water put out fire, that by keeping your hands open, you will be more in a liquid state. And when somebody closes their fist and they're punching at you, they're coming at fire with fire. So when you meet that by introducing the concept of the circle and water, I did that with my little girl, man. You actually put pain into the opponent. But thank you for letting me interject. But when you said Chesapeake, Virginia, and you said Kung Fu, and you said that's awesome. That's an awesome connection. I said I'm quite sure she trained under Master T. And this gentleman also was the first one to teach me that all martial arts come from out of Africa.
Yes.
So,
sure did.
A great man,
I think I
a Nubian man.
Back then too. I think I started reading the doctor back then too. It was like maybe like in 91, 90. I started, reading doctor's books. And I was also got with Master T, and it was a very, very, very. It was, I can't even describe what kind of class. It was just real, It was real. I'll go with 1,000 sit-ups, but it was nice.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you ever get your train of thought back, Anthony? I'm sorry for
Yeah, I
would say you the first thing you recommend.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about what you were saying about the the open hand, because even in boxing, the stance that I'm talking about is called a slip and slide, and we catch and shoot a lot with that stance. So your right hand, say for instance, my left hand is out front, right? Somebody throw a jab, I'm not really going to catch it or meet it with the sword, per se. I'm going to catch it with the right hand so that I can make him meet my jab. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'll catch his jab and shoot my jab, but my jab would be more like a needle threading or a string threading the needle, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah, that's called catch and shoot. So we have you got to do an open hand even in boxing as well, some sort of it. Also, what I wanted to elaborate more on is while I'm sparring, I don't use a time clock anymore. It handicaps you. It handicaps your mind into thinking that you're going to get a break. Okay? And in the streets, like you were saying, ain't no time in the streets. A person can just take you, for as long as you can go, as long as you got the will to live. So, I'm with you on that, bro. I'm with you on that. Ain't no time clock. You got in order for you to get a real perspective. In order for you to get a real perspective of what it's going to be like to fight exhausted, you might as well keep going. And I'm thankful that I got a dance partner per se when it comes to me sparring and me keeping that part of myself built up. And it's hard to find somebody that's willing to spar with you like that. It's very hard. Somebody around my age or your age or anybody's age on this phone, you're not going to be able to get somebody to say, hey, man, I'm going to let you punch me in the head if you let me punch you in the head, and we can work on each other getting sharper. You know what I mean? But that's it. Me and him, that's what my partner, that's what we do. We put the headgear on, mouthpieces in, we glove up, and he'll start the clock. There's no time in between. The clock just runs. And the minute he sees me too gassed to defend myself, we'll take a break. And that break will be for a minute and a half, 2 minutes tops, and we go right back in. And we'll continue doing this until our shirts are soaking wet with sweat, and we feel like we've been sitting in a sauna for an hour. Not only that, you can't breathe no more. Your shoulders everything be burnt out. And I'm going to tell you, after doing something like that, it takes me, man, about 5 days to recoup from something like that. So I don't spar to the head every week. I wouldn't recommend it every week, but I would recommend it twice a month for somebody that's trying to get sharp at seeing punches come at their face. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry, sister.
You should volunteer once in a while to get beat up.
Yes.
Oh.
But you got to be beat up by somebody that love you. You can't be getting beat up by somebody who has nothing to care about you now. You got to have a friend that's going like, all right, now when I get tired, please don't just knock me out unconscious down here where my wife's wondering where I'm at. Yeah. Me and him, we got to understand it, I'm in his basement, so I ain't going to get out of control in his basement. And he knows, not to hurt me where I can't go to work or make some money for my family. So, we have a mutual understanding, and we don't hit each other with full power. The only time we work full power is when we hitting mitts and we hitting the heavy bag. And I condition my knuckles on the heavy bag. Like I was explaining with you, sister, earlier this week, when we talked about how guys hurt their hands, how fellas hurt their hands when they punch a person in the skull. It's that bone on bone, right? So a lot of people break their hands by not knowing how to properly turn over a punch. It's still going to hurt your hand because it's bone on bone. So what you got to learn how to do is condition your knuckles. You got to callus your bone by using the proper gloves when you hit the heavy bag. A lot of people don't know this, but working on punching power has nothing to do with how hard and fast you can swing, okay? It has everything to do with how durable your fists are. Because I can guarantee you, if you hit hard and your knuckles ain't in condition for the pain, you're only going to be hitting somebody hard once. After that, your hand is hurting. I doubt it if you can. Go ahead.
So to condition knuckles, I think you were saying a couple of days ago, you said push-up on your knuckles? Push-up?
For men. For men.
For female, we should do what again? And for females?
For females, I would recommend, if you're going to do your push-ups on the knuckles, you got to wrap your hands up. You got to have some kind of cushion down. you got to have some kind of cushion down for your knuckles.
How about a little bit more feminine than that? Like, a little more,
okay,
yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to say because you got to get used to that pain.
Oh.
You got to get used to it. You got to be like, I don't know, man. Just blocking out pain is part of is a major part of the mental process of fighting. Blocking out pain and when you're going through the conditioning to block out pain, you got to do certain things to feel the pain to know how to block it out. If you notice on the old martial arts movies, the masters always had their student going through some pain in the training that they didn't understand. I know if you remember watching if you ever seen the movie Kickboxer with Jean-Claude Van Damme in it back in the day, when he was going through his training, he had to kick trees with his shin, okay, and his leg was bleeding, and he did this over and over and over and over till what? Till his leg and his bone was callous enough, and his mental pain receptors were so used to it that it did not bother him. And he had to do it to get on the level of another guy that had already achieved that type of mental focus. Tom Poe. You remember that movie Kickboxer? You know what I'm talking about then. When guys had to punch that heavy bag, they're supposed to use the small gloves. The small gloves, not the padded gloves. They got to use what we call heavy bag gloves. They have like a little metal bar in them that you got to grip. Okay? And then when we punch them, we're supposed to pound the bag hard so that our knuckles feel that shock. Okay? That's why they transferred the bag from sand to water in the gyms. Because water has give to it like a human body, and sand don't. Sand becomes like concrete. Go ahead, sis.
I have a question. So those blows to the knuckles, right, to the joints, does it contribute to arthritis after a while? Trauma to the bones, if you're giving trauma to the bone, sister, and you're not doing something on the other end to counteract the effects, yes. And you got to be, y'all heard about sea moss? Anybody ever heard of sea moss? Dr. Sebi, Irish moss, sea moss. Okay, yes.
That stuff is the best stuff on the market for calcium for the bones. And if a man like Dr. Sebi can fall on his knees in his 70s, no problem, you ought to be able to punch a heavy bag taking sea moss. No problem. I recommend it. And it does work. It does work. Irish moss works too. I was processing my own Irish moss last year. And my bones couldn't have felt any more lubricated. My joints and everything. That stuff ain't no joke. But I really, I don't know how to tell a woman to get started on toughening her knuckles up because I don't really like women with tough knuckles.
I'm not trying to. Let me tell you, what can we? I don't want no tough knuckles. You know what I'm saying? Really.
That's right. I see. That's why you keep asking me ways around it. Like, I know it's got to be another way. I don't want no calluses on my knuckles.
Heck no.
Hey,
No
I get you. I get it, sis. I get it. Yeah. I'll tell you like this here. The open hand. Open hand. You just use the breathing techniques. Don't you worry about punching nobody. You use the breathing techniques and you slap the hell out of anybody coming that way.
But you know what? And what you said about inhibiting pain, you know, as far as boxing or fighting, and that's definitely a breathing thing. You know, you got to get rhythm breathing going. And like I was reading the book, the breath book, years ago, back in 2006, right? Even put the date in the book because I was amazed. I woke up with one, right, and my thumb was bothering me, right? I kept let me go and try what he exercised in this book, right? And what I did, it says, you know, to sit in a comfortable position, you know, standing, you know, sitting back straight, and to visualize, you inhale through your nose, right? And as you inhale, it's called secum, which is something for the oxygen, mixture, what have you. And as you exhale as though you're putting the oxygen into the part where it hurts, right? And you do it for 7 breaths, right? And I kid you not, I swear it works. I couldn't believe it. And so it's like that right there, breathing, rhythm breathing, blowing out pain, is definitely it definitely works. And even now, if I hurt my arm, whatever, I'll sit down. You gotta calm down, get your rhythm breathing going, touch the part that's bothering you, that's in pain, right? Do your 7 inhalations and blow it out as though you're blowing the pain, blowing in good air. I mean, I'm breathing in good air and I'm blowing out the pain, right? And then the last breath is a cleansing breath, where you know you inhale through your nose and and I'm telling you, try it. If you're not listening, try it. It works.
Oh, yeah.
I read it and I applied it, and it works. Yes.
I know. You know, it's a natural reaction to pain. If you ever notice, when people hurt their toe, stub their toe, they hurt their bones in any way, the type of breathing changes, doesn't it?
Oh, heck yeah. Like 0 to 100.
You go, like, I'm one of the ways that people know they've done it before is when you do the hiss and breathe, when you go.
Yeah.
You be like, you be in mad pain, you know what I'm saying? But that breathing definitely helps the pain. It definitely helps the pain.
Yep.
my
breathing
thing,
right there.
Yeah. I like to look at it like Michael Jordan said back in the day. Pain and nothing but weakness leaving the body.
That is the truth.
And as long as you look at it that way, every time you release some pain, just look at it as getting rid of some weakness and becoming stronger.
Yeah.
Just a little mental trick. You know, look at what Ali was able to do with George Foreman for 8 rounds. George Foreman was breaking bones with his punches. Okay. Y'all don't know Ali went to the hospital after that fight. Ali went to the hospital. Foreman went to the hospital. Ali was urinating blood. So he endured a whole lot of punishment just to beat that man. He outwilled him. Period, point blank. The conditioning was a major key factor of it. But the other half that you can't forget on the other side of the mirror, you know, the one thing, like ATUN-RE said, you don't see is that will. That one thing in the fight. Yeah, Foreman was bigger. Yeah, he was stronger. He wasn't faster, and he didn't have more will than Ali. Floyd Mayweather, same thing. He outwills his opponents. People be looking, going, man, this dude, I'm like, he's not running. I've seen Floyd Mayweather take punches. I've seen him rock. I've seen him recover. He's smart and sharp at all times, and people hate him for that. You can't fault a guy for having the ability to think clearly under pressure. You can't. I'm gonna always say he's the best of our era. He's the best I've ever seen in my lifetime. And I thought Roy Jones was. It's definitely Floyd Mayweather, and it's because that man's mental focus cannot be broken. He beat Conor McGregor, and he didn't even train. He took that man to the 10th round, and he didn't even spar for that fight.
Mm.
And he knew, because mentally he knew. Him and his dad both. I like to call his dad and his two uncles the three wise men. They got Floyd.
Right.
Floyd is a genetic experiment when it comes to boxing. He had three brains putting all that knowledge of fighting in his head from a baby on up, you see. So he's actually did nothing but boxing from a child on up to now. If it's all a man knows, then he's a master. If you look at Floyd, Floyd would be considered a master at what he does, and now that he's retired, he's a grandmaster. Bernard Hopkins is a grandmaster at boxing. Roy Jones is a grandmaster. Ali, grandmasters. It's a martial arts.
That's correct.
It's a martial art, you know. So all the great heavyweights of old are grandmasters to me, because I know getting daggone well what they went through, getting up at 4 a.m. in the morning to jog when ain't nobody else thinking of doing that. Knowing that when he goes into the 12-round fight, I got up every day at 4 a.m. I wonder if he did it. Knowing what you can do, knowing what you're capable of. You see, that's what all the champions went into their fights knowing that. I know what I can do, I've done it. And I'm not going to let this guy break that. Not that concentration, that focus, that will to win is not going to be broken at all. I don't care if he breaks my nose. I don't care if my eye is bleeding. I don't care if I got a broke rib. I want to beat this dude that bad. That's what the champions go in there thinking. I'll die before I lose. The guy that gives up first on that, yes. The first dude that gives up on that mindset will lose all the time. All the time. I've never seen it fail, and I can spot it. In the middle of the first 2 or 3 rounds of any fight, I can tell you almost 95% accurate with this. Who's going to lose or win within the first 2 to 3 rounds? I can tell you. Body language don't lie. Body language don't lie. You know how a dude get punched and he's lying about it by giving you a facial expression. He sticks his tongue out at you as if to tell you, that didn't hurt, that didn't bother me. You mentally, in this particular chess game now, you can't let that person get to you with that facial expression they just made. You got to stay mentally focused. Yeah. But see, you can't even think that. You got to think, I'm crazier than you, fool. And I'm going to keep hitting you. And I'm going to see how long you want to keep sticking your tongue out. Because I'm going to eventually make you bite it. That's the kind of mentality you got to have in the chess game of fighting. You can't let somebody outwill you. You can't. The minute you do, you might as well bow to that person and tell them, you got it, baby. You won. I quit. Like Roberto Duran did with Sugar Ray Leonard. Go ahead. I'm sorry, sis. Go ahead.
I just want to ask, anybody have any questions in the audience? Any burning questions? Is everybody hyped up, ready to do something?
Yes, we have about 10 on the call. Just letting everybody know we have about 10 on the call.
10?
Okay.
Somebody from the West Coast. Represent the West Coast. Ask a question. North Coast? Is there such thing? No?
Well, I got a question for you, Brother Anthony.
Thank you.
What's up?
Go ahead.
What were some of the things that you did to mentally? What were some of the things that you mentally did to prepare yourself, man, before you went into battle? Like some of the routines that you had.
I would listen to the calmest music possible.
Okay.
That includes orchestra. That includes jazz. That includes, even blues even. But you got to make sure you're calm. You got to go into the fight relaxed. First round, relax. You got to do it. You find yourself breathing hard in the first round if you don't. And you know that you ran 2 miles a day. You know how many sparring matches.
Yeah.
You know all of this stuff, and then you go in and still be like, why am I tired? It's all mental. You got to get that through your. Once you get that through your mind, that there's nothing this dude can do to me that I can't do to him worse. Then you go in there with that confidence. That relaxes you. That relaxes you.
Okay. I can dig it.
Yeah.
Do you ever tell?
Yep.
Okay.
Another thing too, I would like to tell everybody: exhaling when you get punched. It works even when you get hit in the head. It works even when you get hit in the head. When you get hit in the body, you want to exhale. Okay? And you don't want to exhale slow. You want to give a short burst of exhale, like you know what I mean? So you make sure the person, it's almost like not resisting. When a person punches you, you go with the flow. You don't resist, because if you resist, you're going to end up giving more impact. You're going to end up causing a little bit more damage, a little bit more damage, a little bit more shock.
So if someone wants to punch me in the stomach, you said don't clench my stomach, don't tighten it up. I'm about to get punched in the stomach. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you definitely got to have your abdominals solid, but you got to exhale. Anytime you're getting ready to engage in punches, make sure your whole body is tight, and your breathing has to become shorter breaths. Okay? When you're bracing yourself, you have to breathe shorter, because you ain't going to be able to breathe in your stomach like you need to. So you come forward, tighten up. Still breathe, but keep your arms and your elbows in front of your stomach. If you notice, boxers, they have a hunch, like a hunched over stance, and they like to kind of tuck their butt under a little bit when they squat, so that they can sit their elbows on their abdominals to protect the rib cages. And at this moment, they can still see you. So it's not like they got their chin down and they're bowing forward because they got their elbows in it. They're leaning back or leaning on the right leg while they do this. So they're able to still face you with their chin down, shoulders up, right? Weight on the right leg and guarding the abdominals. Making yourself small is gonna protect your abdominals. Anytime you throw a punch, you gotta exhale. If you don't exhale on the punch, somebody can hit you while you're swinging and knock the wind out of you. I've had it happen to me. It doesn't feel good. And it's like somebody hit a magic red button on my body that stopped me from inhaling. Temporarily, of course. But you feel like, hey, what's going on? Your panic sets in. I can't inhale. And then the pain from where they hit you the blood starts to rush to that area, so it spreads. You know, getting knocked out in the body is way worse than getting knocked out to the head.
So, Anthony, do you feel like do you feel like maybe like some boxers, right, when they pass, like knocked out, they're like faking it because they're just tired, just give it up, like I'm done, when they could, like, have, reversed it and, got up, but just fake, like, I'm knocked out, I'm out. Or there's something set up, fights that are set ups, I guess is what I'm getting to.
Well, a lot of fights are set up. I'm not going to lie to you about that. But at the same time, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to say above 90%, about around 90% of those guys are quitting. 90% of them quitting.
Oh. They're quitting.
Yes.
Because
they're quitting because they can't breathe.
Okay.
That's it. They quit because they can't breathe. Sometimes dudes quit because they get hit too hard. But you'll see that happen early. Usually when a guy gets knocked out, he can't continue. His body will act like it. Look at the knockout. Guy's arms be stiff. They don't react. The body's in shock. That's what you call a knockout. Now, knocking the guy down and the ref is counting him out and he's rolling around on the canvas, that nigga quit. I don't care what nobody says. I've been down on the canvas. I know. You quit when you stay down there. George Foreman could have got up when he fought Ali. He was just too tired and wanted to go to bed.
Yeah.
He laid there and then played that excuse. I was looking at my corner and letting them, they was supposed to tell me when to get up. No, you can't blame that on your corner, George. You was tired. And you ain't had nothing else left for the old man you was fighting. And that old man had been through way more than you've been through in your life, so he had way more willpower than you had. That's why George got his ass whipped. He got beat by a man that knew himself way better than George knew himself.
Interesting.
George was being told who he was by other people. Ali knew who he was. You don't call yourself the greatest if you don't believe it in yourself, you know?
Okay.
So.
Does anyone else have a question?
Before anybody asks any questions, I'm going to make this last statement, and then I'm going to just open it up for real. Do not eat before sparring.
What?
Do not eat before sparring. Do not eat before doing any kind of aerobic exercise. Do not eat.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Okay? That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, anybody
got any questions?
Yes. What stance do you have for a left-hand?
For a lefty, your right foot is going to be out front, and you're going to lead with your right on a left stance, a southpaw stance. And then of course your left hand, you have to be left-handed in that stance because all your coordination is coming from on the back foot, and your power will be coming from the back foot.
Okay.
It's a good response. Thank you.
No. Oh yeah. When you take punches, people in the head, realize that you don't want to take punches in the temple. You want to take them on the cranium, like the forehead. Okay. The forehead is one of the hardest knuckles on the body. So even in a street fight, if you got your chin down and a person is fast and they throwing a bunch of punches, you just make sure you make your defense as small as possible. Keep your upper body moving while he's swinging. And when he connects, he should connect with your forehead so he hurts his hand. Okay? Remember that. Keep that in mind. Keeping your chin down protects your jawline. It protects your neck. It protects all the vitals. And then you put your hands up right by your jawline. You raise your shoulders up to where it protects your jawline, the part of your jaw that's closer to your ear. That's where you want your shoulder raised up to. So you got to sink your neck into your shoulders. Bite down. Okay? Tuck your chin. And then when a person tries to punch you, you brace your neck. Okay? That way when you take a shot, you can take it. And the person hitting you is not going to keep throwing the same shot because he's going to hurt his hand.
So
That's
Anthony,
a fact.
Not thought someone told me, like, if you want to knock somebody out, even like in the chin or something, like the tip of the chin. Is that true?
Timing. It takes timing to knock somebody out. And you got to pay close attention to your opponent because you got to look for the signs of when he's ready. A person will tell you when they're ready to go. When you see a person with his mouth wide open and he's breathing very heavy, okay, even if you're tired too and you know that this person got his mouth open, You need to put it all on the line at that moment and get them on up out of there.
It's time to go night-night.
It's time to go night-night. You can be tired, too. You can be tired with that person, but you got to understand you can recoup. So when that person is tired and you know you're fighting somebody that ain't training like you, go ahead, put it all on the line to get that person out of there. Then you can recoup because they'll be done. They'll be done. I've seen it happen too many times. A person with their mouth open cannot stand a punch to the jaw. You can you dislocate the jawbone. As soon as you catch them with that mouth open, you hit them right on the chin. It'll pull. You know, your jaw connects like a chin strap.
Right.
So when you hit the chin, right, you hit the chin while the mouth is open. There's nothing keeping that chin strap stable.
See, a female will feel sorry. We just walk away. You know.
That's good.
Which is the best defense.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep, that's always a positive aspect.
Yep. We want to direct the
if you can
channel the energy towards the next topic, which was breathing while during meditation. We make sure we touch on that. Because the conference calls went on about an hour now. If anybody want to discuss proper breathing techniques during meditation. I mean, I know you say you read the breath book quite often. Do you want to share some stuff from that?
Yeah, but I wasn't. Say it again.
I said, please do, sister, because I need to know how to breathe in meditation.
Okay, well, let's correct this. Okay, I have not meditated yet, right? But I did share something very pertinent with you guys. That is inhibiting pain. So, in other words, when you feel pain, I could probably get someone, get the brother to upload this particular page about it. I want you guys to actually learn a technique. Let's get you prepared towards meditation. So you got to get your breathing right. You got to get there really breathing. You got to know how to inhale, exhale, and also it talks about rib stretching. And how we don't really use all of our lung capacity because we're partial breathers. Most of us are like upper breathers. So when you partially put oxygen to your lungs, guess what? You can't really. You're not really nourishing your body organs. You're depleting your body of nutrient blood-rich nutrients, which could later on lead to what? Illnesses and ailments and all that. So the book is, like I said, I had it for years, and there's so much information in it. I hate to, I want to give it to you in this pristine essence, as far as reading verbatim. I could maybe perhaps get this out to you all, maybe through the brother Brandon, we'll figure out something, because this book is definitely is a classic. I think once you master the breathing techniques in this book, the meditation, it's like, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, so. Did I answer the question? Was that sufficient enough?
That was good.
Anybody?
That was good.
Did I wiggle out
I can
of it?
chime in on I have some techniques for my while I meditate. But it really pretty much ATUN-RE teaches us that you want to make sure you do the Om and that breathing, that technique, and just being on that frequency of that particular note. And that can help raise your vibration level up. Just just being able to tap into that certain, frequency level. So I know that definitely helps with, when I do my meditation.
So on the you breathe in through the nose, and then where is it supposed to originate? In the throat? Or does it come from the center up?
Would it be the solar plexus up there? I'm just guessing. Now the solar plexus I'm thinking?
Yeah, the solar plexus. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Where I'm taking it with do you combine? What I'm asking, do you combine breathing techniques with the
I think that's what he
means. And then on the out breath, and on the out breath, where is it originating?
Okay, all my meditators haven't done it yet, so whoever can respond to that question would be great.
I can tell you what I do when I do my Om chant. This
That's
is
cool.
Anthony speaking.
All right.
I inhale deep through my nose, and I, at the very start of the exhale, I and then I close my mouth, and I put my tongue on the roof of my mouth like a bowl. You know what I mean? And I exhale through my nose for the rest of the duration of it. And you can feel the vibration going, through your whole head at that moment. But that's
so
how I do it.
You don't breathe through the mouth. You don't breathe through the mouth with the
I don't.
It's
I
all
don't
through the
exhale
nose.
through the mouth.
I don't
think that is a problem, though. Well, I don't think there's a problem with that, though. I don't think there's a problem with you exhaling through your mouth. I'm just saying I do it.
I'm gonna give it a try your way and see, and compare and see.
You're gonna feel that vibration, and it's gonna take a lot longer for you to exhale in between. So you're gonna be able to vibrate longer on the exhale.
And the tongue up against the roof of the mouth is something that I wasn't doing either. So boom, thank you, appreciate that. I'm gonna incorporate both of those. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Once again, y'all, I feel like that's right. I don't know for a fact because I hasn't been confirmed by somebody that's a master at doing it. It just works for me. So, I hope it works for you guys the same way. I hope you feel the same way I do when I'm doing it.
All right. I like how you said you felt it in your head, and that's something I felt like it was escaping away from me. I was like, nah, I'm supposed to be feeling a little bit more. So, like, all right, cool, I'm still putting it out in the universe. But it still felt like I wasn't retaining it. So that's why I'm digging the nose, and then I wasn't completing my circuit with putting it on my tongue on the tip of my, right there in your mouth. So, all right. And if I could ask a question, when the information was put out, thank you for doing that, Anthony. On 9.
No problem, brother.
I meditated today on the topic that we were going to be talking about tonight, with combat and breathing and the combination of both. So the question that I have is, when the topic was chosen, who chose it? I know this is a spiritual war, and I consider myself a peaceful man, and I've always studied war. And it's funny when you're doing and you're practicing and you're really practicing to really crush bones and hurt somebody. And I was like, man, that ain't really cool. But I always wondered why I did it. So with this spiritual war, and I'm wondering why the topic was picked, how much of this war is going to be fought on the physical also? Is that why the topic was picked? Because, the climate.
But we just kind of go with the flow, with the energy. And then,
I can dig it.
Because breathing is very important in general because, breathing is very essential. When, while a mother's pregnant, what she breathes in is what the child breathes in. And it's very important.
Right.
You start breathing for 1 minute. Right. If you start breathing for 1 minute, you're not here anymore. You see, so with
That's a wrap.
Right. So with proper breathing techniques and it comes to things like boxing, to meditation, that kind of fit both spectrums, We're all positive. We're all about productivity and positivity. Like Pops told us a long time ago, you can't fight no army and, this is not your country. Our face is not on the money. So we don't even look to do those things, but just for personal reasons, for personal, better ways of breathing, to channel that energy better within yourself. You see, I know one thing with me in breathing is that every time I get in the shower, I always, put water in my hands, warm water, and I sniffle it through my nose. A lot of times we don't clean that nostril area right there in our nose.
Yep.
So it's like a lot of boogers get stuffed right there, from carpet, from the air conditioning, and that affects your breathing throughout the day. But it's like every day, all day, I'm always putting water in my nose, and I clear it all out, because your breathing is very, very important. So we want, choose a topic that, something that's going to affect us in our everyday lives, but we always on a positive trip with things, and keeping it in that energy, Yep.
Yep, you got to keep the vents clean in the house, or the heat and the air ain't gonna come through properly. That's what I like. I like to compare the body to a machine, man, because you think about it, we're just driving this mug, man. It's a car. So,
yes, we are.
Taking care of your lungs is like taking care of your engine, taking care of your blood is like taking care of that oil. You know, taking care of your heart, like taking care of them spark plugs and the starter and things like that. You got to look at your body as a total machine. And once it's well oiled, the potential is damn near limitless. Okay?
Right.
That's how I look at it. Because repetition is how the cells store memory.
That's
you got to do stuff
Exactly.
over and over and over. I heard a martial arts master say on a movie one time, it made so much sense. He said, after 1,000 repetitions, it becomes second nature or reflex, or no, committed to memory. He said it becomes committed to memory after 1,000. After 5,000 repetitions of anything that you do, it becomes reflex. And now apply that to you when you were a baby and you walked. How many steps did it take for you to master it, for it to become second nature?
That's right.
You see? So I'm saying that's the science behind the cell memory and repetition. If you want to do something, count your repetitions. Just know at 5,000, you ain't going to never forget it.
That's what's up. I like that.
I like that. Yeah. That's tough.
Yep, and to go back to what you were saying about the spiritual warfare, that is true, is that it is a spiritual warfare, but the biggest test is with yourself. You see, and you apply these breathing techniques, you know, because when you're looking at TV, that takes in energy to encode the information. When you listen to the radio, it takes in information. Anything that you spend your time doing, that takes up space in your memory bank of who you are. It's 24 hours in a day. So whatever you do throughout that day, that's who your Most High is. That's who you serve, period. You know, why? Because it's what you're putting your time to. So you letting it ingest you because you're surrounding yourself with it. You see, so I tend to walk with ATUN-RE, you know, because I feel like he's helped me in all areas of my life, and he's also shaping and putting people together like he did this call here, because this is all in his will and his doing. And that we got people having good dialogue and good conversation about, you know, things that can elevate a person. You see, because
and we all in different areas too, bro.
All over the world.
Found out tonight somebody right here in this area. Connect. Yeah.
Connection.
So we're more about spreading that love so you can better your test for your own test, because you got to fix you. Then now we have ATUN-RE knowledge, his teachings, that new level of information that can help balance you out, make you stronger, help you, you know, fight this devil in this day and age. You know, because he's gonna be hard on us. He don't want this to be easy. This is a test. It's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna be like, man, this is a whole new way of living. Because it is. It's bringing the better you out of you. You see, it's like really.
That is true.
Using, using stuff. You're gonna hear stuff you don't want to hear, because we real people. You know, Anthony, he from the heart. Like, you know, he talking more, you know, from experience. So it's like that's
Always.
why in all those exactly that's how a lot of us are, and that's what, you know. I noticed with OSOICE, we're very smart people and we're very quick. You know, that's probably because we will apply a lot of this stuff we've learned over the years to our everyday life. So now you've involved, you know, we all about positivity and you know, adding, you know, producing, you know, never not about dividing and subtracting, as ATUN-RE teaches. So we're going to spend about an hour and a half, though. You know, we want to possibly maybe close out if, you know.
Okay.
You know.
I'm with that.
Okay.
No,
makes, you know, anybody got any other questions?
Hey, Shaddah Da Family.
Shaddah Da.
Yeah, this Cincinnati. This Cincinnati checking in. Dion, what's up there, Ant?
What's going on with you, brother?
Not much, man. Not much. Glad to hear you bring. Hey, appreciate everything you brought. What's up there, Maurice? What's up, Virginia?
I can't call it Dion. Chilling, man. Chilling. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good, man. It feels so good to hear all of y'all on there, especially you too, sis. I don't know your name, or if I can have your name.
I'm Monette.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm Brother Dion from in Ohio, Cincinnati. I was here the whole time listening. I just wanted to tell all y'all thanks before we close out.
Oh, thank
no
you.
problem,
Very
bro.
welcome.
I appreciate your company, man.
Yeah, I appreciate all of y'all, period.
Awesome.
Yes.
No doubt.
Awesome. This is the beginning, guys.
Must do this
again.
Right.
We have to.
No doubt.
Monette, it was a pleasure.
Okay, I'll probably see you one day at Walmart at the traffic light. You never know.
I hear you. Chesapeake in the house. That made my heart happy.
Seen each other.
Might have. That'd be crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I guarantee it.
Yeah, that'd be. Yeah. Yeah. Thank everybody. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel the love too. I love it. It feels good, doesn't it? You know, the undivine love. I love it. Yeah. Divine love. Yes. Divine love.
Brother Nine for making it happen. Thank you for putting out the word so that I could be a part of this.
That's right.
Thank you for the work that you put in, you know.
Thank you, Brother Nine over.
That's right.
That's right, now, yeah. I heard it too. I said, what?
I mean, you know, that's making me better as well too. It's making me sharper. You know, iron sharpen iron. You know, and we happen to be getting sharpened by, I mean, the best teacher who's proven his work through his actions and through he's showing us how to do it. You know, through his works. You know, so.
Oh yeah.
You know, with that said, you know, make sure everybody be able to, you know, purchase one of the books. You know, all the books are $25, and you know the question and answers is $50. So you make sure you know, because all the book money going strictly to ATUN-RE, what he has going on with his everyday living. You know, he's got a lot going on. More people are embracing him. More people are coming along. So he can utilize all funds to make sure you know you spread the word out there. You know, we are always accepting free will offerings. You know, so I mean, you got anything else you want to finalize with?
No, I just want to say let's do this again. It's more than one time sit down and talk about, because breathing and it's science behind it. Like I said, it's to be the gateway. So when ATUN-RE comes in with meditation, we already got the breathing down part. We already got our bases covered, prerequisites. You know, so we need to master this breathing. So like I said, I have the book in my possession. I can maybe get it to Brad, and he can maybe circulate it for those that want it, but you really need it. And I say I have not meditated yet because I'm afraid to, because I don't know what. I just don't want to get stuck out there. I'm waiting for my spiritual master because, you know what I'm saying, I may go 0 to 100. You're like, man, where am I? I want to get back in my body.
I know what you mean.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm really like, man, I am. I don't know. I'll sit back. I'm gonna wait. I gotta wait on that one. Till ATUN-RE comes out and tell us what to do.
If I may intercede on that, hey, that's exactly been my concern. I've tried over and over, and I want to ask. Yeah. I think the word for me is the mystery of it, the unknown, as I go deeper into it.
Yes.
That's a big question. Big question.
Oh,
hey, y'all,
yeah.
It's better to be in the dark, too, y'all. I'm telling you, it's better to meditate in the dark.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
better to meditate in the dark.
Tranquility. Oh, yes.
You mess around and we'll see. Go ahead, brother.
I'm just going to ask then, on that note, then I guess that's what I'm reaching on. The unknown of it, man. I can sit in the dark with my eyes wide open, but how do you overcome that? The unknown?
Well, that's the thing. What you're afraid of is yourself.
Yep.
I will say that.
There's
an unknown.
Yep. Yes, I did.
Zariel was telling me when I asked him about the meditation and the Om chant on the call about 2 weeks ago, he was saying that you are afraid of you. That person or that being that you feel standing in that room with you is you. And you got to learn to face yourself.
Oh, I'm not ready.
We're all scared to face ourselves, all of us,
I'm scared of myself, to tell you the truth. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was here that day. I heard
real quick on the meditation, y'all, fam. Before I get off the phone, because I am working, I ain't gonna hold on too long.
Okay.
There's if anybody's ever seen the Avatar cartoon, The Last Airbender.
No.
Anybody?
Yeah, I know about it.
If you haven't, get on. If you haven't, you can get on YouTube and you can look up different clips of this cartoon so to know what I'm talking about. In this particular show, Aang, the Airbender, he uses meditation techniques that are real. Okay, so they're real meditation techniques.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. That's just wanted to give y'all an idea of how you should be. What your mind should be when you start meditating. And if you come in contact with like your grandmother or somebody that passed away, because you needed to. So it'll come to you. You know what I mean?
Hey, see, that's what I'm talking about. I was hey, brother Anthony, I was with you all the way till you said grandmother. See, now went back to.
Oh man, your grandma's part of you though, brother. You can't be afraid of you.
Oh my gosh, I got some grandma stories for you.
Oh boy, I might have to keep my car keys next to me, man. I don't know.
Oh man, control that heart rate, brother. Don't let the anxiety control you. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
All those who meditate are great fighters. They're great fighters. They learn how to stay calm. So don't that panic mode. We all worry about that before we start. You ain't gonna always see nothing though. So the first few times you do it, you can guarantee you just practicing. You're not doing it for real yet. You're gonna build this up.
Okay.
So just keep at it. Just keep at it. You're gonna build it up. Ain't nothing to be worried about the first couple go rounds. Your meditation ain't that powerful yet.
Right. Okay.
It's gonna get there. Yeah. By the time you see something, you should be ready to see it.
Right. Okay. What is meant shall be.
Yes.
This is true.
All right.
That's all I wanted to say, family. Peace and love, y'all.
Peace and love.
Shaddah Da. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, everybody. Oh.
Shaddah Da. Thank all of y'all.
Shaddah Da.
Shaddah Da.